That next day, I was like, oh shit. Wait, is it recording?
Yeah. Cut that. He said, "You will not eat, sleep, blow your nose, or even dig in your butt without my say so."
He said, "You like the rap? Oh, I like the rap too." 1, don't you feel dumb? 2, look at you. 3, don't you ever make no jokes about me behind my back around stuff you in the ground. I love that shit.
Well, that nigga said, "You better hold it if I break that thing up and kick it around in the ground."
It's on ground. Fluctuations. That movie was the shit though.
That is a classic.
I think it was
movie.
actually the funnier of the Wayans brothers. In my mind, if I could it's him. Then I think it's Damien. Well, that is Damien, ain't it? It's Damien, and then it's Keenan.
This nigga high and I can smell it.
You can?
He got that strong.
I changed my shirt and everything.
Come over here. This nigga loud.
Man, it must be in the dreads. If anything, I'm not taking this do-rag off till like 2022.
Why nigga just show him the charge? Goddamn.
Oh well, not after I especially take it off just now because it's all flattened down and stuff, and then I've been laying down on it, so I don't know how it looks.
All you gotta do is
like Cicely Tyson.
Do a little goddamn. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, you had dreads before.
Yeah. Well, they were twists.
Oh
yeah.
What's the difference?
Dreads are like you can't untwist dreads. Dreads is kind of like I don't know. I don't really know how to describe them. But
and you know what too? I learned when I was getting them that it's supposedly offensive. The term dreads. It came from the white folks. It's supposed because it's short for dreadful. Whereas that's why they be calling them locks now.
It's all the same fucking shit. and we also get into it now. So that type of shit. I hate when we just have to start caring about some shit. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I feel you.
Like, where we're like, why are we... Niggas was calling them shits dreadlocks since forever.
There's a thin line, though, between, starting to care about something and then being educated on something, right?
Sure, but I don't have to give a fuck. I really don't. Like,
hey, man.
At the end of the day, it's like, you live your life, be happy at whatever the fuck you want to be happy with, but I don't necessarily have to give a fuck.
That's true.
I'm very indifferent when it comes to those type of things.
And it's not as if the intention is to harm by saying the word dread.
Yeah,
so it's just it's almost like when we're introduced to having to reframe calling people midgets.
Yeah, and even
that's
that
offensive.
Yeah.
I didn't know that as a kid. That's what I knew.
Yeah.
And so I can see it.
I also learned recently, we're starting off kind of dark, but I also learned recently that
For who?
not for us.
The mission says like never hold on. I mean the dwarfs. Like I'm saying, but you see what I mean? Like I mean I see what you mean now. Like it's such a tiptoeing on eggshells that you got to do.
It's like, man, we ain't trying to harm nobody, but
right.
I learned recently that back in the day that when slaves were trying to free themselves and trying to escape captivity, they would diagnose them with a mental disease. That if they were trying to leave their captors, that was a form of some mental illness. That because when these slave masters, they were actually using things that necessarily weren't even in the Bible, but pretty much saying that if you were to enslave somebody, your captives should want to be able to serve you, and that any other thing besides that was a mental illness. And I thought that shit was wild. And someone put in the comments, like, it was like a thread.
Wait, this was on... I was going to say, where did you read this information?
It was on Twitter. But either I thought it was so interesting, so I'm just like, man, like, I don't... That type of shit, I don't think that's too far from the truth. You know what I'm saying? And then someone put on there, like, the government has a way of labeling diseases in order to, hinder people or, to hold people back in some way. So something to that degree. I forget specifically what it said. But, yeah, I just thought that shit was crazy.
Speaking of labeling diseases, and what we think is crazy, there's been a lot more underbelly talk about the COVID being manufactured. Have you been hearing that?
I've heard that from the get-go. I've heard that from the
get-go. And we have. However, it was suppressed more than it is now. I mean, like, it doesn't even matter at this point as far as we are in this thing. Like, do you plan on getting vaccinated? I don't even know if we, like, I know when we put the little hashtag and stuff for vaccination or something in the description or something, it's going, the COVID thing, you know how it automatically shows up. So I don't even be wanting to touch on that topic, but like, if would you get vaccinated?
It's so funny. The short answer, no. But just yesterday when Shorty was over, like my brother had called me, and he had FaceTime me, and she heard, and he was like, "Do you get vaccinated?" I'm like, "Hell no." And so afterwards, she was like, "Why'd you say hell no to the vaccination?" Because she's in healthcare and stuff like that, and I was just like. I'm not saying the hell no. I was like fuck all that shit. I understand.
Saying hell no. I agree with you.
But I'm saying hell no because now I was already against it, but now, like we said before, it's being forced on people.
Right.
And I'm not trying to be forced to take something that I do not want to take. That is something that's inhibiting me to exercise my freedom of choice, my freedom of speech, and all those type of things. Like, I don't have to do something just because it's being mandated upon me.
Right.
And a mandate is something that you're forcing upon people. That's why it's a mandate.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so I ain't feeling that. I was like, I just keep seeing, it's starting to, I see the divide happening, like, because in my own brain, I'm like, I see people on these social media platforms advocating so hard for vaccination and saying like you didn't consider it this, that, or just saying dumb stuff. Well, to me it's dumb.
Yeah.
But like just saying stuff that's like just a clear division in the crowd.
Right.
Either you're vaccinated or you're not. Yeah, I'm just waiting to see what this thing does, cause
all I know is goddamn.
Start dropping like
all I know is like, you know, I've read that people have gotten COVID even when they were vaccinated.
I'm saying.
You know what I mean? I've read that a lot of people have had a whole lot of side effects and symptoms after they've been vaccinated. It's been multiple things coming out about this. It's not a surefire thing as a point I'm trying to make. And when you're shaming someone or trying to make someone feel guilty about not wanting to inject themselves with something that they're not totally comfortable with, you should be the one who's shamed, because if you're forcing that upon somebody, you're not doing anyone any service at all.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, you're making it harder for people to actually try to do something for themselves. You know what I mean? And again, I'm not the most educated nigga on this kind of shit. I just know half the shit that I read, and I just wasn't with it from the get-go.
Yeah.
Just how fast it was even put out, I'm like...
To be honest with you, man, I was never afraid of this whole COVID thing to begin with. Like, when I'm big on like not being led to fear by the media and whatnot, and kind of seeing beyond what they're doing to mass hysteria and stuff like that. And so I watch many people react to something, and I know that there's a bigger play.
Yeah.
And so I'm trying to just remain focused, because I never, you know, it's so inconsiderate to some people who know somebody who's been gravely affected by it, but it's just like,
yeah.
I mean,
and to me, I'm just like, man, I haven't gotten that shit.
Yeah, that's how I feel. I'm like,
throughout this whole thing,
prove me wrong.
I've been to New York, to Atlanta, nigga. I've been all over the place. Like, I've just been everywhere. Like, I've been on planes, I've been on buses, trains, like, nigga, Ubers. Like, I go to work, go to the gym. Like, I'm fine. And you would think I'd be the main person to try to get the vaccine. You know, I'm an asthmatic. It'll affect me before anybody else. But
right. You have a hard enough time breathing.
Yeah, like, nigga. And it's like, I ain't about to sit here, man, and try to like acquiesce to the shit that other people want from me. And I've never been the type to do that anyway. Like, I'm real defiant when it comes to that. But again, that's no shade to anybody who has it, who wants to get it. Like, do you. If you feel that it's gonna help you and you're comfortable with it and it makes sense for you, then do that shit. But at that point, don't turn and try to make everybody else go on your side. Yeah, that's not how that shit works.
I just don't want to live in fear. I can't live in fear. And that's just another thing. You fear.
And nigga ain't scared of nothing.
No. Well, tornadoes. I ain't gonna hold you. Yeah, I might not be as affected by them as I used to, but like, look, when you see that funnel coming down from the clouds, that shit is different. It look weird.
I've never experienced it, so speak to that, like, cause we talked about it before. But
like, have you ever like, say you driving to with your parents to Baltimore, and like they when you get into the rural area of Maryland, it always look like it's stormy. Like, have you ever noticed that, or you ever seen?
You don't really by the time we get to Baltimore, it's not really rural over there.
Okay, makes sense. That's a different
But
route.
I've been parts of Jersey. It's been like rural. I guess you can say same thing.
I was about to say because every time we travel from Virginia up north, it would be all stormy in Maryland and whatnot. There was a Hurricane Isabel that turned into a tornado in our neighborhood. Like when I was in elementary school, and so that was the only time I got to see that job. We was all in the bathroom. I was like, oh nah, we gonna die. But nah.
That's so fucked up. What'd you see? Like, did you see it like the actual
No,
spiral?
of course I wouldn't come outside.
Could you see it from the window or something?
If I was standing next to the window, probably not. Cause like if it's on you, you don't get the like. It's basically, I didn't see the funnel John coming down and shit. Like, yeah, I ain't gonna be. We not supposed to be in near the windows and stuff at that point. But yeah, I know it's scary.
Yeah. So like, were you were in the eye of the tornado, or it was just nearby?
Well, I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know.
No,
I wouldn't know, cause like the only thing we get to see is the damage afterwards, and our place wasn't damaged more so than the neighbors next door. Just a little a tree branch had fallen on our crib and caved the roof in. But like we were fine. We was all in the bathroom. But as a kid, I just thought it was like a bigger deal than it was.
Yeah, it's scary.
Yeah, motherfucking. So every time I see clouds now, and they start those cumulonimbus Jones, those dark Jones.
So they don't like rain.
I love the rain. I love the rain. A thunderstorm is the best. Is my favorite weather.
I remember one time.
It's just in places like the South or like Florida or something. It can be a storm.
Yeah, those hurricanes. That'd be hurricanes all down there. But I remember when I was a kid. Not like a kid. I was probably like 13 at that point. But we used to live in Claymont. Yeah. And I was in the basement, and I remember like the fucking house start fucking moving, and like the fucking shelves are moving, and everything. My desk moving. I'm like, am I in an earthquake right now?
I remember that.
And I'm in the basement. I'm like, so I'm sitting there. It lasts like a good 5 seconds of this.
I was salty because I was asleep when that happened. Everybody was like, it was there. I was watching my nephew. My sister was there, and I fell asleep. And then when I woke up, there was like, it was an earthquake here. I'm like, you gotta be shitting me.
You wanted to be in it?
Yeah, I wanted to experience that. Like, it's not like you ever going to see. That's a once in a blue moon thing on the East Coast.
Yeah, facts.
Honestly, like
that shit
Californians probably like. Yeah, I mean they.
I ran upstairs. I think I don't know if I was home alone or my mom was upstairs. I forget, but I ran upstairs. I was scared. I'm not trying to be in a basement with an earthquake.
The
whole house collapsed on me, nigga. Man, I got out of there. I ain't going back down there for another 3 days.
The foundation is shaking. Niggas stayed in the top floor.
I went straight to my room. I was watching TV, playing my game. I was like, man, fuck that laptop. I ain't going back down there. I'm never going back down there ever again.
Yeah, go down there until like, wait. I'm thinking of a whole different house.
Oh no! Back this is right there.
Claymont.
Yeah, right around the corner here. You know what I'm saying? But just like
mouth dry, something my beat.
How you been? We already got into a few different things.
But. Oh yeah, I've been great. Goddamn, September begins. The leaves is over. It's a perfect time, and I've been trying to get my head right so that I could deal with being around people again. And I think I'm in a good space. Yeah. And yourself?
I've been really good. I think I mentioned it before, but I really just been practicing being present, not allowing my angst and like my future thinking to get the best of me, you know, or even let my past thinking get the best of me. You know what I mean?
Past thinking.
Yeah, like just shit that I just can't change or do anything about, or things that might have happened that I didn't like or just wasn't in favor of. Shit that, like this shit I just wasn't cool with. You know what I mean? Like letting go of it, reminding myself that everything's cool, forgiving myself, forgiving other people, like, and it's constantly having to do those things.
It's a you know, because it's easier some days than it is others. And then like yesterday, for example, I think I had a great breakthrough of just a positive thought and forward movement. And however, just the day before and the day before that, I also thought I had breakthroughs before I just like didn't have the breakthrough. But motherfucking it's something to continuously work on.
Yeah, no, like I found that you know, when it comes to, like, for me, and I say it all the time, but my mind just goes like a million miles an hour.
Yes.
And I find it very hard a lot of times just to like sit and just like be here a lot.
Yeah.
Because when I'm going that further in my head, like I'm then worrying about shit that I just can't even do at the moment, or like things that just I'm ahead of myself before I can even start doing it, you know?
Right.
And then that leads to me being, you know, stressed out and anxious and feeling overwhelmed, but it's like nothing's really going on. It's all up here.
Has that been going on recently, like lately?
Maybe like a few weeks ago, it was like that. But since then, I just been practicing, like, you know, being here, like not trying to do too much outside of my own head, and like knowing like, all right, I set this as a goal. Let me just set that as a goal, and I'm just gonna work towards it.
Okay.
You know, or even again, if I'm just thinking in the reverse way, like, all right, you know, if something's in my past, remind myself to let it go, to forgive myself, and to move on, you know, and know where I'm at now and the things that I've done to get here, and I can be in the moment. You know what I mean?
Makes sense.
And those are the things that's really been helping me out lately, and it's made such an impact on me where I'm just like, man, like, you know, it is what it is. I ain't about to sit here and try to like front for nobody. I ain't gonna like, I'm not trying to argue with nobody. I don't even want to bring those types of things into my life anymore.
Right,
and it's just like, I'm trying to just be happy with me.
And that's that's part of the control that I've been like always trying to keep a grasp on, like motherfucking just making sure everything that I do is what I would do for me, but then comes a balance of what else say influences. If I didn't know you, would I have gone to this concert, and would I have had this experience, and that like some elements of not doing what you would usually do are probably necessary in a process, in a growth process. So it's hard to figure out. Sometimes it takes a lot of movable pride to figure out, you know, when trying something new is, you know, you do the same thing over and over again and with the same results type thing.
Yeah.
So
that's the thing, that I really don't think I even have like a lot of pride personally. Like
myself, I do.
Yeah. But for me, like if I can make the comparison, like you know, it's really kind of like a Goku Vegeta thing. You know what I mean? Like naturally, as like Saiyans, we have a Saiyan pride. You know, but one between us may be stronger than the other. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I'm proud to be like a man. I'm proud to be a black man. I'm proud of the things that I have and everything. But a lot of shit just really like doesn't matter to me that much in the grand scheme of things. You know what I mean?
Makes sense.
And the shit that I choose to focus on are the things that really are that important to me. And they have, they're more valuable to me, and they make a lasting effect on my life than the shit that I really shouldn't care about to begin with.
It becomes simpler.
Yeah.
In a way.
You know, because when you think about like Goku and Vegeta, like Vegeta's, you know, the super smart one. You know what I mean? He's super prideful and everything. He's super strong, but Goku, like, he's not the brightest, but he's also the simplest. Yeah. You know, like, he has pride of the sand.
And he's happy, more consistent.
And he's happy, and the things he care about are his family. He always wants to train. He wants to get stronger. Like, he's very simple. He wants to eat. He wants to, you know what I mean? Like, he's not very complex as a character.
Right.
And I feel like I relate to that so much because he's not worried about, you know, the old villains he's fought.
It's so funny when you look at the Goku, Vegeta, Naruto, Sasuke, any kind of not comic, but any kind of anime that you have, kind of those classics for you, really had a standing point and kind of the same difference between their characters, like Naruto being like more just his positivity and his way to overcome his obstacles was that like positivity, while like on the other end of Vegeta or Sasuke, I'm saying like it's just the opposite end of the spectrum. And so, but that's what I mean by like it being necessary to have those different elements.
Yeah.
Because shoot, it could be what you need to get you back on track.
Right. And it's funny too, because I had a thought recently at work, and I wanna say thank you, because you said it to me like a while ago, but I really didn't know how I was gonna be able to, I guess, bring it into fruition.
Right.
I remember I was like telling you like, man, I really wish. I was complaining to you about bitches, but I was like, man, I really wish I could find, women who just weren't so caught up on trying to be like committed. You know what I'm saying? Like, who would just be okay with us just like enjoying each other's time. We're kicking it, you know what I mean? We're doing what we want to do. Right. And no one's like pressured to feel any sort of way.
Right.
And I remember you told me like, man, like there are women out here like that, and that the women that you've dealt with so far just haven't been like that. But when you start to get out more, you start to, meet more women, like it's gonna be like that.
Yeah.
And it's like that. It's like that shit now.
Like that.
And I found that when I reflected on that conversation, I'm like, damn, like that nigga was right. And I find that maybe like all along, I knew actually after learning what I learned, but the things that I had known before, how I was trying to get them just wasn't in the right way.
What I do notice, a pattern I'm noticing, is that what we become, like we are lacking somewhere in our own lives, and when that happens, we outwardly project it on like what is not out there or what is possible for us. So at that time, you were limited in thought, thinking that there weren't women out there who were like this. And it was probably essentially due to like your circumstances weren't the same. You weren't even in the same setting.
Yeah.
And so like being limited in that area, it created outward. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you would have a reason to say that there's less, but like I only say that because coming from my perspective, like anything that I realize now today that anything I've ever been insecure about, it only has to do with something that I'm lacking in. Mm-hmm. So I only must better myself in that area.
Yeah.
Instead of like what I had been doing, which was like pushing the blame outward or saying there's less of this or limiting myself in thought because I am capable and this and that. It's just that when your mindset isn't wrapped around it.
Yeah, and you're totally right. Like I was definitely I was really in a headspace to where I really wasn't like believing that. Like I knew it was out there, but I was like, maybe it's like not even in a realm of possibility for me. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? In that mentality of thinking. But soon enough, like I'm just like, man, I just got to be more upfront and real. You know what I mean? Right. I got to be just confident in me.
About your intentions.
Yeah, and that's just what it came to be. And I showed you, like, you know what I mean, a little message, you know, with me and homegirl, and it's like, you know, that bitch, I ain't trying to be friends. I'm not trying to be friends. And the more and more I find that I'm just speaking my mind, I'm opening up, and I'm not trying to, again, like, front for nobody. Yeah. I'm not trying to, like have no grand scheme or, like, trying to do anything negative. I'm just like, nah, like, this is what it is. And
the idea is it's like a funnel, you know. If you're doing your loop on door to door, you know, if you're searching for, the quality customer, then yeah, like the person who needs this energy is going to receive said energy.
Yep.
You know,
They always say that there's 6 sales. No, sorry. Sure, 6 sales in the field. You have 3 people who are gonna tell you no, 3 people who are gonna tell you yes. Sorry, 9. 3 people are gonna tell you yes, and then 3 people are gonna be on the fence about it.
Mm-hmm.
And in that way, like, you kind of learn that along the way you're gonna get like those potential prospects. You're gonna get those potential closes just because you're just working the system, you're working the numbers.
Makes sense.
You know, and just as many, you know, we talked about in the last pod about women not being able to handle rejection, but you know, like, you just go through enough to where you're gonna be like, all right, I'm gonna run into these people who want it anyway, regardless.
Makes sense.
You know what I mean? So when you get to that point, it's like you did your job. You did the job, and now you're getting more confident, you get more comfortable, and you can spot easily when someone isn't gonna want it, and you can spend less time with them.
Yeah.
To find a person faster.
A time waster.
Yeah, and it's just like I can read your body language. I can tell from the tone of your voice. I can tell how you're looking at me. Like, I know what it is when you're just not interested. I know what it is
to be attracted to.
Yeah.
Like, when it's on, it's on.
And it's not that hard to figure out these days. And that leads me to my next point that I want to get into. Nowadays, it's been happening for a few weeks now.
Mm-hmm.
Nowadays, I'm getting at least one compliment a day at work about how I look.
This is good. Now
once a day. At first, I thought it was just like, all right, I'm having a good week. Sure. I'm happy about that. Right? And then it happened the next week. I'm like, this is odd. I don't like it. I'm like, y'all fucking with me. Like, nah, like, ain't no fucking way. Like,
what's not to like about it?
Well, here's the thing. I always say that, you know, for me, in my head, I still feel like I'm just that skinny nigga. Like, I'm still that skinny kid. I'm still like,
this gives you a better mirror than the one you see yourself in, though.
Right. So I see myself as this for a very long time, and no matter how much progress I do make, you know, I'm still very hard on myself, and I'm never really content with the shit that I have going on. But so that was that second week, and I'm just like, all right, that's cool. I appreciate it. Thanks. You know what I mean? But then this third week, I'm like, maybe this is real. Maybe I am really like getting better. Like, maybe I am actually like starting to look the way I should think that I look.
Yes.
You know, and it was at one point where it really like just it sunk in for me. I was like, all right, like nah, yo, this is you now. This is you.
Like living it.
Yeah, like you don't have to. You don't, not even that. You're not this thing that you think you are anymore. You're not. Those days are over.
And you know, it's what I don't know where I heard the information, but like there's a thing of like separating yourself from like the mindset that remembers you as you were. Like hence why, like, say when we reach into the past to get ladies that we have been gotten, well, sure, it sometimes it works out. That's not a good example. But then again, that's not a good example because the intention in doing that is to show them who you are now. That's different from, say, you like when I was going away to college and stuff. Getting away from my family for that little bit of time had given me some independence and shown me like, okay, like this is me. Mm-hmm. Like this is who I am, and I don't have to be reminded of who they think I am at home. Yeah. Just because those are my sisters who grew up with me since I was a little kid and Mm-hmm. You know, like you get a sense of identity in that.
Yeah, and I definitely there's that, it's the identity. You know what I mean? And I'm like, man, I really have to start to just accept this and lean into it more. You know, and know, like, man, like you're better off than what you think you are, and you've come further than what you think you have, and you're good. Like,
that's a beautiful thing you brought that up too, because I recently, like, I noticed this pattern years ago when I was in that, like, I was a teenager, like when I knew old lady, but like the concept was, you know, I mean, you and I have discussed this. When you have a woman that you've been keeping around for some time, and it's as if like anytime you've done bad or something, you feel like you're a bad person or something, or like, and you start to look at yourself through their eyes and judge yourself, and then it becomes harder to stand in that what was the word we just used to describe, like
identity.
It becomes more difficult to stand in that identity when you feel like you're looking at yourself from somebody else's perspective. And so I was finding myself struggling with that, and a lot of times like it just defaults to not caring about anything, like being like not caring about your feelings and nothing like that. And so it's a funny balance when you're trying to but the solution was that motherfucking I was in too deep in here. That's all that is. And so having control over my brain is the next my mental fortitude is the next thing that's under training.
Like, and do you feel that way, like kind of like how I described, where you know you're more into your own identity nowadays than you have been before? Like, do you find that when you look at your old self and compare it to now, like, can you say like, nah, like this is who I am now?
Oh, 100%. Along the journey, I always get to know myself better than I did before, and I'm always even more honest with myself than I was before, because you just unlayer more stuff and you find out more stuff about yourself. So yeah, I'll always be a better version of myself. I think I can't not learn. Can't not learn. That's the only way I can be worse off, is if I stop learning.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Did you have anything you want to get into?
I've been topic list.
No.
I've been topic list. But like motherfucking. Usually, there's so much more in the world going on that I can just pull from the atmosphere as to what's like more that I've done in the week, or more personal that I'm willing to get. However, I think being as though I smoked before I got here, I'm thinking like I'll be keen on the wording, so I've been listening more than speaking.
Yeah.
However, like I'm good at like pulling from my own life, but then I realized when I look back, I'm like, man, I shared too much. But because shit, it's been what is it? A couple. The last time I'm still not, you know what I mean. But the last time I was with like another, you know what I mean, was months back. And so I feel like I've been doing really good. This is discipline, you know, and it's by choice and everything, so it's healthy.
Yeah,
I think it's healthy for me.
And I definitely like when I think about just how
it's difficult, but it's healthy.
What?
I said it's difficult, but it's healthy.
Like, but you're right though. Like when I think about how
I don't even say it's difficult. Oh, my fault.
No, you're good. But when I think about how you've come along and the things that I've seen you transition with and learn about and figure out, and the conclusions you've came to and things you had to learn and stuff like that. Like, you know what I mean? Like it like I said, we feed off each other. You know, it's all influential. And if it's one thing that I've definitely taken from you now is it's like learning that that you have to like just give yourself time to do shit.
Right.
You know, and that's where I kind of find that where I'm at now. Hence why I'm saying I'm practicing being present, because I'm only 24. I just moved to my own place just a few months ago. I can't be in such a rush to do everything and everything else, but I have
think that's healthy though.
And that's what I'm saying. Like I can't put myself in a rush to try to do everything at one time, because I'll only be. For me, how I learned is that I'm putting more pressure on myself than I can deal with. You know what I mean? And taking my time like this, it's allowed me to just focus more and like try to get everything together and like.
See now, I feel
cool
like a
with it.
Gemini, right?
Think about the back chat like a motherfucker.
Yeah, because I'm like on one hand, yeah, like I know that like you got to do what you want. Like you got to do what you want at the time that you feel it. Like that, you got to give yourself that freedom to say, if I want to change my mind, I can.
Well, that's
right.
what I mean. I'm not disagreeing with you. Like that's the point I'm trying to make is that like instead of me just constantly, because I'm coming from a position where I was such in a rush. I'm trying to do everything all in one go, and I'm putting myself in such a pressure situation where I'm stressing myself out. I feel overwhelmed, and it's too much for me to handle.
Right.
I feel way more at peace, and I feel like I'm getting a whole lot more done effectively if I'm taking my time with it.
Right.
I know
that makes sense.
That's what I'm saying. I know at any point I could just switch gears and crank it up a notch, but at the point I'm at now, I'm not trying to overwhelm myself with too much.
Right.
I already have enough on my plate. Anything else is too much. I know my limits now. I'm practicing like knowing when it's too much,
and that's what
and being okay with that.
I'm trying like what is it? When you moving on your own, like as far as like just very small circle and stuff like that. Like when I go outside, I was just having a conversation with Shawty, and I peeped that in that conversation. I was like, when I leave the house, if you see me outside, I'm probably on the way somewhere to do something. So like a lot of times, I don't have time to interact with people. I don't have the patience to do anything because like other than that, and so interacting with people in your daily life, or even creating relationships and nurturing friendships and stuff like that, it becomes a thing of practice and really practicing that present feeling that you discuss.
Yeah.
So again, something I'm still working on, but
yeah. And like and that's the thing, cause and like I said, you about to get on your Gemini shit, but I'm telling you, dog, like it's such a common thing where we're being told we have to just like go and rush, and everything has to be super fast, and we look at people's progress and we feel like they've already made it and shit like that. It's like, nah, man, shit gotta take time. Like we gotta learn that it's a process, and that we have to learn that it's a foundation that needs to be built first, and things have to go. It's like something has to come before all that.
Yeah.
And it's multiple things that have to come before all that. And when you're taking the time to do those things effectively and not haphazardly and all over the place, you'll see better results.
I don't know why I just had a thought that crossed my mind. It's way out of left field, but what if we went back to college now?
Fuck that.
No, like okay.
Oh, you mean like just on campus, something like that?
Yeah, like no, like say we were in college. I'm not considering going to that. I'm saying as the people we are now, what if we were like when we went to college then we would have the bodies and the minds that we have now?
I wouldn't have dropped out. I wouldn't have dropped out. Shit.
Man.
I wouldn't have dropped out.
If only I knew. But it all makes you who you are. You can't regret it,
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's like, it was what is for us. And when
it's all a silly mistake.
Man, that shit was so fucking. I knew, like, I know you probably feel a way about this, but I was already feeling a way about like being there. My second semester, I was already fed up. But that day you came and you was kicking it with me, he was like, hey nigga, you don't gotta do this. And I'm like, you damn right.
But hey, for one, I don't even remember saying that. You ain't gonna put you dropping out on me.
I'm joking.
Okay.
I'm joking.
I was about to say, wait a minute.
But we had a conversation of you saying like, hey, like this is not something that you really want to do. Then you don't have to. Like there's other directions you can take it.
I can see me saying.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying you told me.
I was about to say, or have your parents looking at me like, you motherfucker, you wasted our money. No. But like, yeah, like I would have stayed in college had I been able to easily afford it. Shit, like my grades wasn't bad. It was just a matter of being broke, and goddamn, I didn't realize that I was supposed to be taking care of myself until it was too late, and that was the kicking the ass that told me, dog, like, I mean, all those miracles that seem to just be happening was just your parent. You know what I mean? You was getting taken care of. Now that it's on you, if you don't do anything, nothing will get done.
Yeah.
And so that's what I had learned in that lesson. But out of state, had I mean.
I knew that shit wasn't for me. Like
It was, I mean,
but that first semester was amazing and it was dope. But then coming back and then like having this to like really like be in it, and I was like, man, I can't. I don't want to do this.
The one thing I do, I am happy I did miss out on as far as the college experience is that if you're going to be at the same school for those 4 years, you're going to have a lot of experiences, shared experiences with people who have moved on in the last year or so. And life will change so much on campus. I'm sure, like, it could be just, but me, I'm controlling, right? So I like to, I think experiences and fun and anything is just more variables to what is plain and simple. And so, maybe all those experiences would be good for you, but.
I mean, who's to say, goddamn, like, I feel like I've had way more experience that I would have gotten if I would have stayed in college, truthfully speaking.
Yeah, outside of college, definitely.
Like, I wouldn't, if anything, doing door-to-door was my college.
Yeah, out there.
Like, I learned more than I could have ever possibly learned, just, like, about this life and the world and me, myself.
The Babe Rocky, she was telling me how being in sales for that long, especially in door-to-door, how we was doing it, it's like basically having a bachelor's degree in communications or something.
Facts. Like, you just learn a lot. And it's like, I'm telling you, like, that whole experience is way more useful to me than learning about anything like science related.
100%.
Going to school or just all that shit. Like, not saying information or knowledge is bad, because I know how you're thinking. I always got to preface something with your ass. But what I'm saying is that I learned more than those things, because those things aren't as valuable to me than what I have learned personally throughout my journey doing door to door. Those things in school are not that valuable to me in the grand scheme of things. So when I walk away from both of those situations, I'm like, all right, what has impacted me more was definitely doing door to door.
Yo, you know what? I don't remember a goddamn thing I learned at St. John's.
Do you remember more when you was out in the streets?
Literally, like
you learn more in those streets, boy. You had to learn quick too.
I know I was in theology. I was a communications class. There was a liberal studies class. Like just basic shit. I don't remember any of it. Like I remember like the bullshit was just reading stuff. I felt like what are we doing here? I'm just here for the papers.
The only thing I remember, and I don't remember what the fuck it was, but it was something from my math class. We were doing an experiment on like, I think it was like the bell curve or something like that.
Your book, The Great Gatsby. I had to break that down on some shit. I was just like, this.
Yeah, I read that shit in high school.
Yeah, I was like, this is bullshit. Like,
but we did this experiment on like the bell curve, and we had to like kind of like do like numbers. But my experiment was pretty much how many times could I whip my niggas' asses in Naruto, and I was undefeated in that shit. I was ripping my 3 roommates, the 3 niggas next door. Like, nigga, I was checking all these niggas off back to back to back. And I'm like, yo, bro, how are you playing this so fast? I'm just like,
when I did
crazy.
Come to your shit, to your school, and we played your it wasn't we. I was playing your boy in the basketball game, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, you know, yo, he was so sorry. And I don't know, but like, I forget what but it was just hilarious.
Nah, he used to piss me off, man.
That was what was funny about it. Everybody was just, oh, y'all wasn't right.
Yeah, fuck
but
that,
like, I ain't help. I was just in there like, yeah,
that's some classic shit though. Goddamn.
And yeah, high school, acting like I was
and on that too, like just to go further into it, like recently, I learned that I'm very, very, very judgmental. Like very judgmental.
Same.
Like I don't speak on it at all. Because I feel like I don't really want to.
You don't want to be judged either.
That, and also I just feel like that's just such like it's so much negativity. Like I don't even want to put that in the air. I'll keep that for me and work with that before I just say like, hey, like and start pointing fingers. Like if I'm at work, like I'm constantly like just it's anything like any and everything. And so nowadays I have to catch myself when I'm just like in the midst of me judging somebody. I'm like, stop, wait. It's all right. Like they could be they could have just got done doing something.
Of things you judge, because I know it's a huge palette. You know, like when you, for example, me, like I was just having a discussion with Shawty, but like she was talking about like how she felt judged at the time, because like as a dude who never like has given any time to any ladies, like specifically, it's like you think all of them are the same. You don't trust their past and stuff like this, or their futures, or anything about them. Just but yeah, that's an example of how I judged, and I was just like,
well, I'm judging more so just on like how you affected me, like it could just be like the mind is like a minor inconvenience, and I'm just judging you. Like I'm just thinking like you're just a shitty person, but it's just like it's not that deep. You know what I mean?
do the same
like,
thing though.
It's not that deep. Like it is okay. Like it's not that big of a deal. You know what I mean? And a lot of times it's just like that's just me and my own impatient and my own just again judgmental mentality, you know. Okay. And so I'm trying to practice being more gracious. I'm trying to practice being more patient. I already am patient, but even more patient in those areas, and just being like, all right, like everyone isn't a piece of shit. You know what I mean?
Better at that than me. I've been getting better at that, especially because like with the small circle that I do have, I do trust that they know me well. Like, and by they, that's you, you know, sister, and you know,
yeah,
like, but like, yeah, like, you get to a point where, at least in my experience, I've gotten to a point with these people in my circle that I feel like I can, the things that I would have gotten offended by before, I can overlook now because I know that it's not that deep. It's not intentional.
And that's what I'm trying to give for other people, because I don't know.
I don't give that grace to other people.
Because I don't know. I'm just not going to assume it jump out the window that you're doing this in spite of me. Like that's only going to cause me more stress. I don't want to have to walk around thinking that you're just fucking with me.
Right.
I don't like that feeling. And a lot of people, and genuinely, everybody really isn't.
No.
And if they are, that's on them to deal with.
Like, you know what? I can relate to that feeling so much. When if anything, we work at the same John, and motherfucking first couple months there, I just in any workplace really, I just have a very deep mistrust for the people I'm working with and stuff. Like I be thinking like supervisors, like if they anything could be a slight in my head, and I just demand respect, and that's all. And so. 9 times out of 10 though, it don't have nothing to do with me. Like it don't be having nothing to do with me. But I'm learning that a lot of times you don't want to be that guy that puts yourself or inserts yourself into a situation just because you thought, you know what I mean, like what are these people talking about?
Just creating problems that really don't exist.
Yeah.
You know, and like for example, and that's where I said, like, for me, I gotta understand, like, people are just gonna be people, and a lot of times people don't even have like any ill intention. They're just a lot of times inconsiderate, but it's not like an ill will inconsiderate. You know what I mean?
However, that's what I noticed a long time ago. It was just like people are just a lot less considerate than myself, and I'm just gonna have to be the bigger person of moving correct in the world. Like
for example, like
not taking it.
This is one dude. This is one dude who works for the outsourcing company in there, and this nigga he always leaves his cart in the way, anywhere, any fucking where. If you're going through the pallets, he's leaving it right in front of the entrance of the aisle.
Shit is worse.
You go in the shelves, he's leaving his cart in the middle of the whole aisle where everyone's trying to walk. Or, like, it's just insane.
Yeah.
He goes on breaks and forgets where his fucking cart is. Takes your cart by accident. Puts his hand in your gloves. And like, oh, my bad, bro. Nigga, I don't want this shit. Dirty ass hands. I don't, like, what the fuck? This man was driving me crazy for like a week. And I'm like, I'm gonna shoot this nigga out. But I'm like, all right. Clearly, he's just a dumbass nigga.
Or he's just inconsiderate.
I'm just like, all right, that's who he is. Fine. I'm gonna let it be. It's not that big of a deal. I'm one, getting paid more than him. But it's like, but two,
he wouldn't tell us.
Yeah. So I'm like, two, alright, you know what I mean? You over here, you trying to do your thing. I see you always trying to talk to girls, like, they ain't giving you no time. Like, you one of them type niggas. I ain't really got to trip off nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's cool. Do you, my nigga.
Yeah.
But man, it was a week straight. Wow, I was fed up. Every time I see this nigga, I'm like,
that's hilarious.
But it's multiple niggas like that in there.
Oh yeah, no,
he's a problem number one who does it all the time.
It's less of them overnight just because like less people even want to take the overnight shifts. Like so if you're working overnight, then you probably you know what I mean, are there to work. Like now it's not that I don't see it though. There are fools all through the day.
All the time. And motherfuckers like this is the stupid shit. And again, those are the things I'd be like, all right, like it's whatever. Like it's not that big of a deal. Like
yeah, man.
Go ahead somewhere. You know what I mean? But I'm practicing not trying to judge people, give people more grace and stuff like that, and you know all that good shit.
Easier said than done, definitely. I seen a glance too. You had something that you wanted to he said he had the straight face on.
What?
You had glanced at a screen. Thought you was looking at your notes.
So I was, yeah.
You had something that you wanted to get to.
Yeah, that was nice. Nigga, don't be reading my mind.
Well, I tried to segue, but you didn't get it.
Well, I was about to. You jumped in front of the segue.
I said, you had a straight face. He said,
nigga, I was gonna get to it. You gotta let me get to it first.
Well, I tried to.
This nigga get high, start playing chess.
I was trying to. I mean, fuck out. That's it. I'm really bald under this durag and shit. That motherfucking we stopped the video and then I rolled off. But nah.
But shit, like if anything, it's funny. I got all the topics today. Now you just, I'm like, what was next?
Because I swore, but right before I came here too, I was just like, damn. And all throughout the week, I didn't write nothing down. Like, and however, usually it's okay. That doesn't go badly.
Yeah.
However, I didn't take into account that I've had so few life event changes and stuff. Like, as far as it's not bad. It's just like I live a boring life for the most part. So I didn't have anything to pull from, and I'm not one to check the news and stuff. So I have realized that like as someone who does this. Like, I will have to pay attention to some things that are going on out there just to have something to bring to the table conversationally. Because, you know, we have interesting conversations that are introspective.
Yeah.
However, a lot of people can sometimes not even relate to some of the topics just because they have a broader or smaller sense of thinking. Like,
I know for me, like, when I'm, like, I personally forgot the right topics throughout the week, but then I was just trying to recollect the shit I knew I did want to talk about. Mm-hmm. And I just was finding things to remind me just throughout the day today. And I was like, I didn't want to talk about this, and I would write it down. But even in that, it's like, you know, same difference.
So it's almost like a rapper coming into the studio knowing or being confident in his freestyle skills.
Yeah.
I came in here confident to freestyle, and I'm bubbling up. I said, oh.
He's an ashy boy. I got a lot of hoes.
So that's all that is.
But
I actually too. My fault. I ain't mean to slip.
Okay.
However, if I am to choose a vice going forward, it's going to have to be the brown before the green. Just because, like, I mean,
I don't want to tell you where my head just went. I don't even want to tell you.
I'm just trying to imagine. All I see is shit.
Yeah. He's out to the brown for the green. I said,
all I saw was like, what? It's just a dude with a green mane.
I'm like, what's the talking?
This nigga shitty conversation.
I said, oh shit, here we go again.
Yeah, man. Nah, like goddamn, because I freestyled on the brown and it was different. I was like, oh no. Man,
Nigga said.
he
did that shit. I watched that like 20 times.
Man, meanwhile, like, I brought a sleeping bag. I said, so you said one nigga?
I'm sleepy, man.
Sleepy boy, I got a, see what I mean? Like,
Sleepy boy, I got a lot of clothes. I don't know.
I mean, like, it's an off day.
It's an off day.
What you want me to do, man?
What you want me to do? I'm sorry. Right.
Yeah,
but
plus this do-rag is tight as hell on my head. Like, I really want like
the circulation to you.
Yeah,
to your
I
brain.
can't think. I can't think. You beat me to all the ideas. Why you think I was looking at your screen, man? I said, what do you want to talk about? I'm gonna steal his topic.
Nigga stealing ideas.
I said, so you want to talk about? Shit, I didn't see it.
I fucking do. I got a nigga in a chokehold.
This shit got me in a Nelson.
He got you on a full leg lock.
I can't even brainstorm.
That shit put you in the MMA fight. But I wanted to talk about this documentary that's put on Netflix. It's called HEIST. It's 3 different stories about these people committing like heists. The first one, which was, it's crazy to me.
It was just crazy to me. The description you just put on is just listen to yourself. It's this documentary called Heist. And it's about people who do a heist.
I said it's like 3 different people who committed heists.
That's so different. It's about 3 different people who did a heist. It just sounded so simple when you said it.
It's like 3 different people who committed crimes. Nigga, fuck you want from me? You high. I'm not trying to complicate it for you.
I said, what else is it going to be about? He could have skipped it. He said, it's about heist. I said, nigga, what else?
Alright, look.
It's going to be vegetarian?
It's about 3 different people who did some shit. Alright, end of story.
Sounds interesting.
Yeah, what's
I said, what's your next topic?
What's your topic?
I said, let's do some more of your shit. I said, matter of fact, let's make us some more. I said, this nigga ain't got no time.
You know what's funny?
What?
You laughing at my topics.
Yeah.
I can't laugh at yours.
Exactly. I said, shit, I'm coming up with some fire right there and there. Nigga, how you get your wallpapers? Fire. Content.
But so look. Anyway, so look, right? So the first one was actually like really dope. What dawned upon me is that these people are like just, one, very interesting, but 2, I'm like, man, to actually go through with this shit and then pull it off the way that these people were doing it.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, like you gotta, and they made it look so easy. Obviously, it took time preparation, but when you actually did it,
yeah.
The first one was about this girl who was living in Vegas. She was young. She was like 21. She met this guy at a bar, and they started, going out dating. And the dude was like, "Hey, he was pretty much like, he was already like a theft. He was always stealing and everything." And she got involved in his lifestyle, and then she ended up getting a job for Loomis, with his like Brinks, like one of those armored truck companies, whatever, that deliver money. So she gets hired as his driver. So that nigga,
inside job.
That nigga's like, oh, you work for these niggas? Mm-hmm. Now, mind you, this nigga,
I thought that was the plan all along.
This nigga was in jail for doing a botch robbery on Loomis 20-some years ago. Spent years in jail and got released, I think on bond or whatever, and was out now on the streets. So now your girl gets into Loomis, and now you about to do this whole thing over again.
Right.
So he was like, all right. He started asking her questions like, hey, what's your heaviest days look like? What's Monday like? What's Tuesday like? What are your routes? Where you're going and everything? He's just gathering information on him, and she's just giving it up like ain't really nothing. You know what I mean? And then eventually she starts putting two together like, oh, he wants to do something, and she's already with it. So this nigga, he's into all types of I don't want to say like demonic worshiping, whatever, but it's like sex magic and everything. It's like a whole lot of like candles and fucking what are those cards that got called again? Tarot cards and everything. Like he's into all that type of shit or whatever. So and the hypnosis and everything. And so they set up the plan that when she's driving the two guards to drop off the money at one of the casinos, it's their first stop. The guards are in there mad long trying to drop off this money to like each ATM in the casino, right? Meanwhile, she's in the van with like millions in the back, chilling. Her job is to go from the garage to the front of the casino to pick the two guards up, and they drive to the next location. The plan was that she would not stop in the front of the casino. She was like, everything I seen to the left of me was the casino, all my past, and this and the third, and I went right. She pulled off of that bitch. And then they meet at this garage where the dude had rented for like a fake business for like auto repairs, whatever. Mm-hmm. They unload the van, put it in this car, throw all the money in there with the bags and everything, and then they dip, right? And then she has to disguise herself as like an old lady. So, because she was like real young, she was like beautiful and everything. She was very recognizable, right? And now you're also rolling with a convicted felon who was convicted of doing the same shit before. Crazy shit. So they hop on a train. They go all the way, I think, to Texas, and then they take a plane, I think, to Miami or whatever. But anyway, they end up in Miami, right?
I said, nigga, you lost me. Where did it go?
I'm telling you where it went. It went from Vegas to Texas to Miami.
All right.
You still lost?
No, I'm just saying it's the play-by-play. What the ultimate context was, because you brought up the heist. I'm wondering, is it because when I'm taking from this, right? Like when I watch movies and shit, like I realize that I can't play all those characters in one lifetime. I'm thinking that when you're talking about this heist movie, what would it take to commit to that? Like, and putting yourself in that. That's where I was thinking that you was going with that.
I was just talking about it because it was a dope documentary.
Okay. See, I wouldn't have had any context to pull from because I didn't see it.
That's what I'm telling you. I'm moving on.
I mean, it's one thing to... I just got a description of the movie, or of the film. And so, like, conversationally, how would I interact?
Forget it. Fucking forget it.
What'd you see on your next job?
That was it. That was it.
Hey man, it's an off day. It's an off day. What you want me to do?
Did you hear Kanye West's new album?
Not at all. It's out?
Yeah, it just dropped today.
Oh, well, especially if it dropped today. Damn that.
I listened like the few songs of it. Like it's
not as impressive as it sounds like because you would be way more excited about it.
Yeah, I just feel like we just hype this nigga up too much. Like, don't get me wrong, he's great and everything, but I don't know, like his music never really resonated like that with me.
Huh.
You know, I never been like the biggest Kanye West fan. I just think it's just like,
pains me that it what is it? Well, Kendrick, I heard a snippet of his music and he said something about 2021. I didn't even know he had dropped anything this year.
Yeah, he just dropped a song with him and his little cousin Baby Keem and everything, and that shit goes way crazier than that whole album that Kanye dropped. That shit was amazing. Amazing.
Switching his flows and stuff, and I was just like, wait, when did it come out?
This other day. It was like Friday.
Okay, bet. So like that was very recent.
That shit was crazy, dog.
Yeah, man.
But this Kanye shit, I'm like, man, where Drake at?
And that's
like,
what I'm saying.
I'm like, where Drake at? I'm sick of this nigga.
Like, motherfucking Certified Lover Boy has been on a whole just waiting list of everybody's anticipation, and so even mine, cause like I'm curious to see what he got. You know what I mean?
He did like a little teaser on Sports Center. He's gonna drop. I think it said September 3rd or whatever.
Is that the thing that they said was a hack?
Yeah, like it was like a little glitch in the system. It was like Certified Lover Boy September 3rd or whatever.
Oh, and it was, but people really thought.
Obviously, it wasn't Drake.
Yeah, it was marketing.
You know, promotion or whatever. But I'm like, nigga, I'm more excited for that than this fucking shit. Like, the last two things I really loved from Kanye was Yeezus and Pablo. That was it.
I didn't even listen to Pablo, to be honest with you.
Pablo was hard. Pablo was really hard. But this shit,
There's
I'm
so
just
much
like,
to go back to then check out.
Like, Pablo was hard as fuck. But this one, it didn't.
I think Kanye is getting more credit for how he changes the game more than how his music sounds.
Yeah,
because what he's done with the album and how he made his money off of it, especially post quarantine and everything.
Yeah,
people are looking at that and about to steal that formula and do it better. Yeah, but you know, he just put out a blueprint for everybody. That's what that was.
Yeah, and when I look at Kanye, I'm just like, you know, he's obviously a legend in the game. You know what I mean? He's given us timeless shit. You know, he's obviously one of the greats. Right. But like I said, even as a kid, like, I was a Wayne fan. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I was a fucking, you know what I'm saying? Like,
my shit went from what was it? Cassidy to Lil Wayne to you know.
Yeah.
I just stopped.
Like, Kanye, I just felt like he was always, you know, to me, he was always just there. You know what I mean? Yeah, and people always just held him to a certain acclaim, and understandably so. You know,
my brother hated his Streetlights. What album was that? 808s and Heartbreaks. Yeah. I was a kid at the time, so I didn't understand why. However, he was so used to a different Kanye, right? A Rockefeller, Rock Nation Kanye. That hearing this Kid Cudi influence Kanye was just like not.
The first time I heard Kanye was on was Slow Jams with Twista and Jamie Foxx. I told her to drive over in your new whip. Bring some friends you cool with. I'ma bring the cool whip. Then I want you to strip. See, I love that. That's my favorite person, that nigga ever. She be grinding, calling me Biggie like Shine On, man.
My favorite verse from him was Drive Slow. It's on College Dropout with Paul Wall. Yeah. You probably know it if you heard it, but I'm trying to remember the chorus. It was like, drive slow, homie. Ding, ding, ding.
That was a terrible description of that shit. I thought we was going to talk about it. I can put myself in Kanye's shoes. Like, I don't know what the fuck you talking about.
I was like, this is all you need to hear right here.
Yeah, that rang all the bells for me. I know exactly what song
I said, yeah, right? Drive slow. But that shit was crazy.
But yeah, nah.
That's a Jerry Burris nigga. Listen, man. I get hungry.
Let me just see.
Let's see what's up over there. Oh, matter of fact, like, that's nothing too. Do you see like the time in which we've from here?
No, but I don't think it's even been that long. But
okay.
I think if that's it for me.
That's Phil Duffney.
What?
Just read the first email I got. Is that Phil Duffney? We're talking about Phil? The boot bar?
Yeah, no, that's it.
Alright, you guys. Nah, if anything, yeah. Jerry Burris. Next Sunday. Next Monday.